Hey guys, welcome to Driver Swap. My name is Griffin, and today I have two races from the beginner daily race playlist in the Le Mans Ultimate, as I am still in the lower ranks of drivers here. The first part of this video is a quick recap of the fixed prototype race at Le Mans with a mix of cloudy transitioning to rainy weather. Now, as a quick disclaimer, I had not yet driven this car at all up to this point, which, yeah, I know. My first ever event in this car is a 20-minute race at Le Mans with rain, so my odds of doing well here are fairly slim. But seeing as this is a beginner's event, I figured, well, let's give it a shot. I ran about 30 minutes of practice, got a few solid laps in, and jumped into qualifying where I placed third on the grid with a time of 3:44.087, about 5 seconds behind the first place driver. Now, before getting the green light, some prescient words were shared by others in the lobby, perhaps a foreshadowing of how my race would go. We're going to go ahead and jump straight into the end of lap 2, where up to this point things had gone fairly well for me until this happened. Now, unfortunately, things didn't get any better from here, especially once the rain began falling. I just wasn't able to get a hold of the car from this point on and struggled quite a bit to keep the car on the road and facing in the right direction. Now, despite all of my frustrations with this event, I do end up limping the car over the finish line, placing 5th out of 9 drivers, after the other 4 had dropped out of the race completely. So let's move on from that and pretend it never happened, to the focus of the video. The Ferrari fixed event at Fuji Speedway. This is a 36-minute event featuring a 4-minute practice session and 7-minute qualifier. The 20-minute race features partly cloudy skies transitioning to overcast and a nice 22 degrees Celsius, or about 72 degrees Fahrenheit. There's no rain in the forecast, so I am happy about that. Jumping into my qualifying lap, I end up with a decent 140.134, roughly 1.7 seconds behind the leader, and landing me in 7th position out of 16 drivers.
Formation lap has started. Green flag, green flag.
I immediately get a good run as the light goes green and I overtake 6th place, but I'm weary of what's to come in corner 1. 16 cars flying down a long straight into a heavy braking zone and into a tight right-hand corner on cold tires is a brutal mix. But I lift a little early and I brake evenly to get through the corner one piece. Starting lap 2, I'm actually feeling pretty good. I moved from 7th up to 4th, I've avoided a spin out, and I'm keeping up with the cars in front of me. I don't want to fight with those cars just yet, doing so would cost me too much time, and my tires aren't quite warmed up yet, so I'm opting to settle in where I'm at for now until I see an opportunity to make a move. Approaching the start of lap 3, I begin to see some mistakes made by the cars ahead of me, costing us all some time. I don't want to spend too much time stuck behind these two because I will get swallowed up by the group just behind us. Now for this lap I opt to bump draft the driver ahead of me to try and get us both closer to second place, and I'm hoping if those two start to battle I can seize on the opportunity. Coming through turn 15, the two drivers in front of me come together and I try to capitalize on the opportunity, but I don't quite have enough speed to pull off the overtake. I also have someone trying to overtake me, so I'm going to need to push a little harder to create a gap between me and him, and give myself a chance to pass this red Ferrari before the guy that just passed him gets away.
That time was a 1:41.41.
In his effort to overtake me, the blue Ferrari has completely taken out the red Ferrari in corner 1. I tried to move to the outside to avoid a collision, but didn't move quickly enough and I tapped the car as I was making my pass. Thankfully, there was no damage to my car as a result of this tap, but perhaps there's some damage on the car ahead of me now, and I can use that to my advantage. As we begin lap 7, I'm feeling really confident, and I've settled into this race nicely. I feel like my pace is good and I'm avoiding making stupid mistakes, while observing quite a few mistakes from the drivers around me. I know if I apply enough pressure to this second place driver that an opportunity will open up. As we come up to the start of lap 9, I'm feeling really good about how these last few laps have gone. It took 2 laps to finally overtake second place, but a clean overtake is exactly what I was hoping for, and I feel like I executed it pretty well. There is zero chance of me catching first place at this point in the race, barring some kind of crash, so my focus now is to keep pushing to secure a second place finish by making sure the drivers behind me don't catch back up.
Lap 140.47.
It's at this point I see the clock has hit 0, but I'm notified I still have 1 lap left to go. I've built a 3-second gap to the driver behind me, so if I just keep hitting my marks and drive a smooth lap, I should be able to bring home this second place finish without issue.
Time 140.94.
And there we have it. This is a great race to end the night on, certainly better than the prototype race I tried to do earlier. Up on screen now is a comparison between the qualifying times and positions and the race times and positions for each driver. Out of 16 drivers, only 11 finished the race. Like most races, there was quite a bit of shuffling that happened. I think the only person that kept their position was the pole sitter, and they were gone after just a couple laps anyways. If you've made it this far into the video, I appreciate you watching this. If you have any suggestions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comments down below. Stay tuned for more content on the way. Le Mans Ultimate has GT3s coming very soon as of me recording this, and AMS2 has update 1.6 on the way very soon as well, and we will be diving into that when we get our hands on it. So, I hope you've all enjoyed this. As always, have a great weekend, and happy racing. Take care.